Hello everyone, Mrs. Lopez here. All right, so we are still on Judy Blume's Fudge-O-Mania. We are on chapter 11. So here we go. Fudge was counting his Cheerios when Jimmy and I came to breakfast the next day. As soon as we sat down, Sheila waltzed in, wearing her fuzzy pink robe and her bunny slippers as usual. Jimmy took one look and doubled over. Sheila poured herself a glass of juice, then made herself comfortable at the table between Buzzy Sr. and Fudge. "Good morning, sweetheart," Buzzy Sr. said, kissing her cheek. "Good morning, honey," Fudge said, kissing her other cheek. "What is this, Camp Kissy Face?" Jimmy asked. "You wish," Sheila said. "Oh yeah, I really wish," Jimmy said. "Sheila's my babysitter," Fudge told Jimmy, "but maybe she's going to be my wife too." "Wife?" Jimmy said to Sheila. "Maybe," Sheila said. "Nothing's definite yet." "It all depends on Mitzi," Fudge said. "Mitzi?" Jimmy asked. "She's my friend. She has monster spray. She's going to try to get me some. Then I won't have to get married." Jimmy gave me a look, then sliced a banana in his cornflakes. "Buzzy Sr. and Grandma are best friends," Fudge continued, "but they don't sleep in the same room." "Why don't you save the morning report till after breakfast?" I said. "I can't," he nibbled on his Cheerios, eating one little circle at a time. "I might forget." "Pass the milk, please," Jimmy said. Grandma passed it to him and Jimmy poured some over his cereal. "Jake will roll over if you give her cheddar cheese," Fudge said, still going strong. "But if you give Tootsie cheese, she spits it out." "Okay," I said, "that's it. Jimmy doesn't want to hear any more. Jimmy wants to have his breakfast in peace." "Wait," Fudge shouted, "I'm not finished." "Oh, yes you are," I told him. But did he listen? Does he ever listen? "Libby works at Ickles Ice Cream Parlor," he blabbed. "But she puts extra sprinkles on my cone. And," he stretched out the word, making sure he had everyone's attention, "Pete got dizzy from Izzy at the library." That did it. I reached across the table and grabbed him by the sweatshirt. "One more word and I'm going to let you have it." "Okay," he went back to counting his Cheerios. "What was that about Peter getting dizzy?" Sheila asked. "That was a joke," I told her. "He felt like he was floating," Fudge said. I shoved back my chair and raced around the table ready to destroy him. "Grandma!" Fudge cried. "Help!" Grandma shouted, "Enough!" "E!" Tootsie shrieked. "E! E! E!" This time, Grandma stood up and banged a wooden spoon against a pot. We all quieted down and ate our breakfasts. Not that I was hungry anymore. When we finished, we helped Grandma clean up. Then Sheila danced across the living room in her bunny slippers singing, "He got dizzy from Izzy at the library." Mr. Fargo, who'd been sleeping on the couch, suddenly sat up. He looked confused. "Where am I?" he asked. "You're in Maine, Dad," Jimmy told him. "Remember, you're sleeping on the sofa in the Hatchers' living room?" "You mean the Tubmans' living room?" Sheila said as she danced out on the porch. Jimmy followed her and I followed Jimmy. No way was I going to leave those two alone. It was a warm, sunny morning for a change. Everything smelled fresh and clean from last night's rain. Too bad Sheila had to spoil it with her musical act. She danced from one end of the porch to the other, singing, "Dizzy from Izzy, la-dee-da. Maybe it's love, la-dee-da." "It has nothing to do with love," I told Jimmy. "Fudge made the whole thing up." "Dizzy," Sheila said. "Floating. Sounds like love to me." "Yeah, Peter," Jimmy said. "Sounds like love to me, too." "I've seen Izzy," Sheila told Jimmy. "She's got curly hair and a fat behind." "It's not fat," I shouted. "If it's not fat, how come it wiggles when she walks?" Sheila asked, parading across the porch. She tried to imitate Isabel, but wound up waddling like a duck instead. "So when do I get to meet this Izzy?" Jimmy asked. "I have an idea," Sheila said. "We can ride our bikes to the library this morning." "I thought you have a job," I said. "I thought you have to babysit Fudge." "Haven't you heard?" Sheila asked. "Fudge is invited to Mitzi's. All I have to do is walk him over and I'm free." "I hope my mother isn't paying you for that." "Business between your mother and me is private," Sheila said. Then Jimmy said, "I didn't bring a bike." "No problem," Sheila told him. We have extras in the garage. Jimmy's here to visit me, I told Sheila, and I'll decide what we're going to do. I went back inside, slamming the door as I did. First, he tells me he can't stand Sheila. Next thing you know, it's like they're best friends. Who needs this? I went up to my room, kicked yesterday's clothes out of the way, and sat on the edge of my bed. In a minute, Jimmy joined me. He sat on the edge of his bed. Sorry, he said. I don't know what got into me. There's plenty of reasons for feeling dizzy besides love. I didn't say anything. You're not mad, are you? Jimmy asked. Why should I be mad? Then you don't mind if we ride into town? Why would I mind? I was just trying to help you out since I know you can't stand being around Cootie Queen. Yeah, but I kind of feel sorry for her since her friend got chickenpox and all. She told you about Mouse? Yeah, and I know how disappointed you'd be if I'd come down with chickenpox. You had them in 2nd grade. I know, but just suppose. Dad adjusted the seats on one of the extra bikes for Jimmy. Then he handed him a bike helmet. Safety first, he said. The road to town is very busy. We'll be careful, Sheila promised. I took a course in bicycle safety, so I know all the rules. What don't you know? I muttered. I don't know how to turn perfect cartwheels, Sheila said, but with Muriel's help, I'm improving. I jumped on my bike and rode away from the house, leaving Jimmy and Sheila behind. At the end of the dirt road, I turned right and pedaled as fast as I could. I pedaled harder and faster than I ever had before. By the time I got to the big hill, I was really huffing and puffing. My heart was racing, and with the wind blowing in my face, I was gulping air. But then I was way ahead of Jimmy and Sheila. Who cares about the two of them anyway? Who cares that all of a sudden her stupid face doesn't make him feel sick? I struggled to make it to the top of the hill without slowing down. I was breathing so hard as I could when something flew into my mouth. I coughed, I gagged, I swallowed. I think it was a fly. I think I swallowed a fly. I gagged again and braked so fast I flew off my bike. Lucky for me, I was wearing a helmet and landed in the soft dirt on the side of the road. In a couple of minutes, Jimmy and Sheila pulled up next to me and jumped off their bikes. What happened? Jimmy asked. I swallowed something. I think it was a fly. A fly, he said. I was going really fast, breathing hard. It flew right into my mouth. How do you know it was a fly? Sheila asked. What else could it be? I said. A bee, a moth, a small bird. It wasn't a small bird, I told her, and a bee would have stung me. I'm almost sure it was a fly. Ew, that's so gross, Sheila said. I started coughing and gagging again. Jimmy whacked me on the back. What should we do? He asked Sheila. We'll take him to Bicycle Bob, she said. He'll know what to do. I think I'm going to puke, I said. No, you're not, Sheila said. Just get back on your bike and keep your mouth shut. Maybe he should keep it open, Jimmy said, in case the fly wants to get out. It's too late for that, Sheila said. How do you know? I asked. All right, fine, Sheila said. Keep your mouth open if you want. But I didn't want to. I was afraid if I did, something else would fly in. The bike shop was just up the road. When we got there, Sheila called, Bob, we have an emergency. Bicycle Bob came out of a shop carrying a wrench. Hey guys, he said. What's happening? I was riding my bike really fast, I told him, and I was breathing really hard, and a fly flew into his mouth, Sheila said. And he swallowed it, Jimmy added. Hey, Bicycle Bob said, shaking my hand. Welcome to the club. The club, I said. Yeah, the ISAF club. The ISAF club? The I Swallowed a Fly club, Bicycle Bob said. I'm a member myself. You swallowed a fly, I said. I'm approaching the half-dozen mark. It's hard to pedal fast and keep your mouth shut at the same time. Does he need x-rays? Jimmy asked. Nah, Bicycle Bob said. He needs ice cream. Ice cream? I said. Yeah, go next door to Ickles and get yourself a vanilla cone. Why vanilla? Sheila said. It's the best cure for swallowing live insects, Bicycle Bob said. Unless you don't like vanilla, in which case, vanilla's fine, I said. Good. You need money? No, I've got enough. Then you're all set, he said. Give me your name and address so I can notify you about our meetings. What meetings? The ISAF club meetings. Oh, right. I wrote out my name and address for him. Then the three of us went next door to Ickles. I was glad Libby doesn't work mornings. She was the last person I wanted to see now. Tony Ickle, the owner's son, waited on us. I ordered a vanilla cone. Jimmy ordered a chocolate cone with sprinkles, and Sheila ordered strawberry. You're Libby's sister, aren't you? Tony said to Sheila. Yes. Great girl, Libby, he said. You can't mean Libby Tubman, I thought. You must mean some other Libby. Nobody in his right mind would call Libby Tubman great. What a hunk, Sheila said as we left the store with our cones. No wonder Libby loves to go to work. We sat in the little park next to Ickles and ate our ice cream. It felt weird to be eating ice cream at 10 o'clock in the morning. When we were done, Jimmy wiped his hands on his jeans and said, Okay, I'm ready for the library. We walked our bikes up the street. When we got to the library, I said, I'll wait out here. Don't you want to see Izzy? Sheila asked. Don't you want to tell her you swallowed a fly? Somebody has to watch the bikes, I said. Nobody's going to steal our bikes, Sheila said. This isn't New York City. Plenty of bikes get stolen here, I said. Just read the local paper. Peter's such a worrier, Sheila told Jimmy. I don't worry. I think ahead. Too bad you didn't think before you swallowed that fly, Sheila said. The two of them went inside. They're probably going to tell Isabel about the fly, I thought. She'll probably come out and see if I'm okay. She'll remind me about the baseball book I put on hold. And if she looks at me the way she did the other day, I'll get dizzy again. Then Jimmy and Sheila will know the truth. They weren't gone for long. Izzy's not there, Jimmy said, disappointed. She only works afternoons. Too bad, I said. What's so great about swallowing a fly? Fudge said that night. We were having an outdoor barbecue to celebrate the first warm night of our vacation. One time, I swallowed a turtle. We know, I told him. And I had to go to the hospital. We know, I told him. Everybody was worried, he said, and sad, too. Nobody was sad but me, I said, because it was my turtle. I remember that turtle, Jimmy said. You won him at my birthday party. Please, Sheila said. Can we talk about something else? I'm trying to enjoy my supper. Fudge laughed. That's how Turtle got his name, right, Pete? Yeah, I said. I named him after my dog. I named my dog after my first pet to remind me of what you did to him. Fudge danced around holding up a French fry as if it were my turtle. Oh, turtles are so tasty, he sang. Boiled, baked, or raw. Cut that out, I yelled. You can't make me, he laughed, daring me to try. Oh, yes, I can. I reached out, grabbed him, then poured my whole cup of juice over his head. He looked surprised. Pete, he cried, as the juice dripped down his face. How could you do that to me? It was easier than I thought, I said. And that's the end of chapter 11. Stay tuned for the next video with chapter 12. Bye, everybody.